Dearest listeners, book babes and book bros, welcome to Book Babble. I'm your host, Tanya, and today my co-host is Hannah. Hannah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I am a reader in Colorado and one of Tanya's friends.
Yes, and I fear she has no reason to introduce herself anymore. She's been on here enough, but I will keep making her do it. And
It's something different every time.
and today our special guest of the hour is Amanda. Amanda, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Amanda Rautio, and I'm a fantasy author out of Banff, Alberta, Canada. I write historical and like dark academia mythology fantasy. And I have one book out so far, technically. Um, it's called The Tale of Corey, and it's my Hades and Persephone modern day retelling. It's dark academia, and it's part of a series. And the next book, The Rise of Haduwas, is about to come out in the new year. So that's my Hades origin story set in the Bronze Age, mixed with Hercules.
I cannot wait for this to come out. I'm like chomping at the bit for this. Um, so Amanda, thank you for joining us. Are you ready to babble?
I'm ready to babble.
Awesome. I will put 5 minutes on the clock and Hannah will start us out.
Okay, I am so curious
Mhm.
what your background and inspiration is for this mythology, historical, and dark academia that you write.
Yeah, so I went to university. I did a double major creative writing with, well, English literature with concentration in creative writing, and then a classical history with a certificate in publishing. That was my background. I've always been a mythology person. I grew up with Percy Jackson. I read the Iliad and the Odyssey really young. Everything that I could ostensibly get my hands on, I did. Um, for the dark academia, um, academia effed me up a bit, as it does, I think, for most people.
Mhm.
So it took me 3 years to write The Tale of Corey as just like a purging healing process from kind of what I went through. And it was like the part of the fantasy is honestly the academia itself because it just goes so smoothly and it mixes fantasy in with it to make it feel like more, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It does.
So my The Tale of Corey started off as just a one shot little short story that I had. I hadn't written anything. The first book I wrote was when I was 14 years old. I got that published when I was 16, and then I did nothing for a decade. Like university absolutely sapped all the joy I had of writing out of me. Like it was gone. But I was like, I dumped a significant amount of money into this. It is not being stolen from me. So after 3 grueling years, The Tale of Corey was born. I just refused to quit. It was not smooth. It might read smooth. It did not write smooth. um, it was just essentially the purging healing of academia, and then bringing Greek mythology into it was just fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
love that. Thank you.
your writing so far has centered around Hades. You know, you've got your Hades Persephone, and now you're doing the Rise of Haduwas. Are you planning on focusing or writing about any other Greek mythology creatures, gods, anything else?
Yeah. So The Fruit of Life and Death is my series. It focuses that basically there's kind of two simultaneous series. So there's a duology, which is going to be The Tale of Corey and a book about Hecate. And then there's the trilogy, which will be the Hades trilogy, and it kind of sandwiches the duology. So it's like a 0.51, 1.52, 2.5 sort of deal, but full length, just in chronological order. Beyond that, I have so many. It's so hard to write when you have 40 ideas on the go that you want to write, and then prioritizing what you do. Like, do you finish the series first? Do you pause momentum to get that other idea out or lose it forever? I have a series that I'm planning on writing called The Daughters of the Gods, and it's essentially all of it's going to be women's lit with centering around all of the abused women, essentially who were abused by the gods for their lineage. And it's going to be novellas, each of them standalone, but there's so many women to choose from. So
Oh my
That is
that's
God.
the next
such an
one.
interesting idea.
Yeah.
So I also was obsessed with Greek mythology growing up, so I am here for it, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait, especially I cannot wait for those novellas. So
Mm.
um keep me updated.
Yeah. The first one is Pacify.
Oh
So that one's kind of hard to write because of the nuance of the bull,
yeah.
but it's probably one of the darker ones. They're not all the same kind of tone. They're not related in terms of it being narratively connected, but they're connected by their lineage.
You're
Wow.
jumping in deep end with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's very ambitious, but I'm so excited that someone is finally going to I feel like no one has really written in depth the way that you, I think, are based
Mm.
on some of the content that you, because I, as you know, I'm one of the co-founders of Iris, so I did get to see some of your work.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen anyone write the way that you do and as in depth as you do about some of that stuff. So I'm really excited to see that come to fruition.
Mm. Me too.
Well, Amanda, we did make it through the 5 minutes, so congratulations. That 5 minute portion is going to go on our social channels. And then the full episode will go on YouTube and Spotify, so we'll just keep chatting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pass the baton over to Hannah because I just yapped a lot. So,
So did
Hannah,
I.
you're up.
Thank you. What inspires your characters? Well, okay, that never mind. I'm gonna ask a different question because I know what inspires your characters. Um, so when were you first after your hiatus,
Mhm.
your when you published at 16, when did you publish your next book after that?
December 2024 when I was 25.
Wow,
So
that is a long
9 years
time.
long. Yeah.
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 Wow.
So essentially, I was unemployed for 4 years after COVID. So I moved back in with my mom, and there was nothing for me to do. And I was like, well, I've got a writing degree. I should do something with that. And I slaved away during that time. And The Tale of Corey was born with
That's
a new
amazing.
vigor.
Good. I mean, that's amazing that you were in that rough situation and you still made something positive come out of it. So that's incredible. Um, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, what was it like publishing at 16? Like, what is the difference between then and now?
Mistakes were made. So many mistakes were made. All the mistakes were made, in fact. Um, I did something called hybrid publishing. Now,
Mhm.
this is a rather predatory practice for people that don't know better for most of the part, for both, like, really, for all intents and purposes. Um, so I had no control over editorial. I had no control over cover design. I had no control over book price. I had no control over where it was sold. I had no, like, literally, it was everything that you could do wrong, I did. It was super expensive. I worked as soon as I was 14 and able to work, I had a job. Um, all of my savings went into it. And it was something like $10,000 at 16 that I had saved. And it was, yeah, really, really, it was a huge mistake. I got that out of the way early. Um, yeah, I sold something like 10 copies and then just didn't know, like, they did no marketing. I was expected to do it all.
And you
And
dropped $10,000 and they
oh yeah,
didn't do anything?
and they didn't even do a good job on the editing. Like I felt like when I was given back the galley edit, um, I found so much, and I was like, this is what I paid for. So yeah, you
Oh,
make mistakes in this industry for sure.
Oh
That was a
my
hard lesson.
goodness.
That was also probably partially what contributed to such a long hiatus because it just was not a good introduction in the sense of it feeling positive. But
Yeah.
it was a very, very significant learning experience. I know not to do that anymore. And hopefully people that follow me and learn from me know not to do that as well. I like to learn the easy way, not the hard way. I had to learn that the hard way though. So in terms of what's different, I'm going to broadly say everything. I hired a freelance artist to do everything for like my art. My cover design was I didn't pay until I was happy with it. So like every cover was directed entirely by me. I had full creative design. Of course, I gave creative license to the artists and the cover designers, but it was basically it had to have my stamp of approval, which was very nice. Not to say I'm a control freak. I wouldn't say I am, but you know, you want to have your vision come to life, and when it doesn't meet that expectation, it's a sad thing. You know, when you
Right.
put as much work as you do into this stuff. Um, Another difference would be like the social media. When I was 16, Instagram was still pictures of your meals and family, friends, and stuff. Like there was no marketing for it in that
Yeah.
way. So that was kind of difficult. Um, I at the time had a YouTube channel, but nothing really. Nobody looked at book stuff at that point. It was all about like Smosh and the annoying orange, like OG YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of things have changed. The industry is like so evolved. More people are reading, especially the romance and fantasy. My first book was like an urban crime, young adult thing. Think Wattpad Bad Boy. Yeah, that's where my career started. Was Wattpad.
Well, I'm so glad you
I
have you
abuse.
have you've grown since then and you're not on Wattpad anymore.
No.
You're out there
Yeah.
where you should be. So that's awesome. That's such a journey though, to
Yeah.
go from writing on an online domain where like anyone can put something on there. There is no guarantee it's good.
Yeah.
And
No.
to make it as far as you have, that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah. Like one of the great things about Wattpad is anyone can write on it. One of the bad things about Wattpad is anyone can write on it. So there's a lot of surfing you had to do. I didn't have, I think the most I had was like 500,000 reads on one of them. And that was the one that I
Wow.
published. That was the one that I
That's a
published.
lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but there's ones that have like 65 million.
Wow.
So I mean, it was good, but it was not famous on there by any means. I did one. I did go shortlist on one thing, and that was one of my short stories, which is available in a short story collection that I've published this year. But yeah, like I think I deleted my Wattpad account like 2 years ago. Yeah,
I
as
think that's amazing. Like there are so many authors who actually started out doing that because they weren't confident enough in their writing abilities. And then once
yeah,
they got it out there and the community was like, whoa,
yeah,
they realized how amazing they were and how talented they were. Like one of my favorite authors, Helena Hunting, she started out doing it that way it was like the coffee shop or something like that, or fanfiction.net too was another one.
yeah,
Started out there and now she's like one of the most well-known hockey athlete or hockey romance writers. So like
yeah.
it's amazing to see people come from that and
Hmm.
really step into their own, and I'm glad that you're doing it.
Yeah, there's something to be said though about how like Wattpad facilitates the writing process. There's a little they've captured the dopamine release system where it feels really significant when you post a chapter. And because it's chapter by chapter, not novel by novel, I feel like you can really get into a groove.
Hmm.
Like there's
Thanks,
something
Mom.
scary sometimes about the blank page. And you don't really feel that with Wattpad. I will say I miss that writing infrastructure. I do.
Just pretend, go into like a delusional state and pretend.
Yeah, yeah. You say that like I don't do that.
She's like, great suggestion.
Yeah. I might just Do it.
I might just keep doing that.
So I really quickly want to circle back to the Rise of Haduwas. Am I saying that correctly? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
not. Okay.
There's any number of ways to say it.
Okay. So you worked with us to kind of to spearhead marketing on your Kickstarter campaign. And
Yeah.
I just saw that you hit your second stretch goal on that. So congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
What all goes into, that whole process of deciding if you're going to do a Kickstarter, if you're going to like publish a certain way?
Yeah.
Um, how do you make that kind of decision?
Yeah. So as an indie author, I think, well, everyone kind of has their own process, but I do a significant number of in-person markets. I go to every farmer's market in my town. I do all the Christmas events, and that's actually about 90% of my income as an author,
Wow.
not online sales, not anything else. And so for me, the largest expense would be my print runs.
Hmm.
So I use like all of my job savings for my indie career to kind of get it off the ground. And so if I already have a readership that wants my books, there's no real way to do a pre-order for physical copies. Amazon only facilitates an ebook pre-order. That's
Oh,
it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's no way for me to do a pre-order system for paperback or hardcover. So I was like, well, that's a problem because if people want it, that's some like initial income I can use to actually do more. So the way I kind of approached it was not as a Kickstarter, like, oh, I need funding to make this happen. It's more of a, hey, this is happening. If you'd like your copy ahead of time and would like some cool bonuses.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And
So
you,
it's kind of just in terms of like the timeline, it just helps with the timeline,
that
really.
makes sense.
And then I
And
also
you,
use it as like a kind of almost PR box type deal.
Hmm.
Because like I put a lot of work into making sure that everything's quality. I do a lot of things by hand, so I make handmade. Well, I do. My husband and I. He does all my sprayed special editions by hand. He does all the sewing for the book sleeves, Kindle covers, bookmarks. They're on sale every Wednesday in person. We're working on getting it up on the website. But we do all the sorts of handmade bookish goods. He did a lot of carpentry and resin work, so we're working on getting some resin stuff. Um, yeah, the next year is going to be really, really busy.
What a guy.
Yeah, I know, what a
great.
catch.
Oh
That's
my
like such a
God.
dynamic duo.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet.
So in terms of the Kickstarter helps with yeah, timeline. And in
That's
terms of why someone would do it, there are a number of reasons. For some, it's because they need help with like their a lot of the over like special editions. They come from overseas printers, so a lot of that is like the cost of international shipping as well. I I'm not dealing with that. I didn't want to deal with tariff codes and shipping and all that kind of stuff on top of everything that I have to do from my end to ship. So everything is from my workshop.
wow, that's amazing.
That
And
is so cool.
you fully funded the actual like the printed pages, the special editions, and now you're just working on the added bonuses, the character art,
Yeah.
the goal for the audiobook. Is that correct? Amazing. I got so excited when I saw that like the first that was funded in the first 12 hours. I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah.
I'm dying.
I
Hannah,
was
I don't know if you saw the special edition sprayed
I
edges.
did.
Oh
They're
my
beautiful.
gosh. I'm dying for that.
They are beautiful.
When she sent us the picture of that, I was like, I have to make graphics that look phenomenal with this. So I
Yeah.
like
fantastic job.
I spent
My
time
jaw
on
dropped.
I was like, I gotta make this look good. First of all, because I love Greek mythology, but second, because this edition is gorgeous. Um,
Yeah.
Hmm.
so
Yeah, it
I'm
actually It's funny you say Greek mythology because the Rise of Haduwas is actually not quite Greek mythology. It's
It's
a
not.
non-Greek mythology that spins into Greek mythology. So in the universe of the spirit of the fruit of life and death, I am using a concept called comparative mythology. So if you're unfamiliar with the term, comparative mythology is the idea that there are so many significant crossovers between mythologies that it's more as though it's archetype as opposed to separate.
Oh,
And
okay.
so there is in my world an in-universe explanation for how every death goddess is the same goddess, no matter the culture, or every sun god is the same entity, regardless of whether it's Hindu, whether it's Greek, whether it's Norse. It doesn't matter. That it's the same person with an inheritance.
Oh,
That
that's so
makes sense.
interesting.
So, in the context of the Rise of Haduwas, it's set in the ancient Anatolian civilization of the Hittite Empire. So, think Mesopotamia, think Babylon,
Ooh.
think that, and how that becomes the origin story of a Hades character.
Ooh.
So,
I'm
it's,
even more intrigued
yeah,
now.
so it's like
I
Hades
know.
mixed with Hercules Gilgamesh.
Oh, I love this. I
Yeah.
love this entire concept.
That is
My
so
brain is going
interesting.
so many ways.
I know.
I cannot wait for this to come out. I cannot wait. I am literally the second that lands on my doorstep, Amanda, I am going to crack it open. I'm gonna fangirl the whole time. Especially because I did get to see some of those quotes and I was like, sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. I need this right now.
I
I
know.
will say the writing of this one was so much smoother than the Tale of Corey. I I think some of my best writing has just come out with this book, and it's like I'm still in the middle, and I'm in the tail end of developmental edits, and then I'm lined up for line edits real soon, and then I'm gonna have an arc campaign, so look out for that.
Yay.
Yeah,
We'll
Sign
be
me
on
up.
it.
Yeah, we'll be on that.
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good.
And I also really enjoyed, which spoiler alert, like the writing, it's not modern. You
No,
really do embody that time frame, that like the actual culture of that time. And that's what really excited me because it wasn't like this modern, they've got cell phones, it's not urban, it's not like this all this slang. Like you were very intentional with the way you wrote that, and I love it.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
I made use of my university email before I lost access to all of the sources that I could possibly comb from my university sources. So every single thing, every single article that even minorly referenced the Hittite Empire, I downloaded that. I read it.
Oh my
So
goodness. That is so
probably,
thorough.
I probably
such a
have,
great use of resources.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I have probably read over 300 articles about the Hittite Empire. It is my Roman Empire. Um, but
Wow.
proudly, yeah.
That is so cool. I cannot wait.
Yeah, yeah. So I like everything from their literature, their like the historiography, their language. I have an entire dictionary about their cuneiform and how it differs from their inherited Sumerian texts and Akkadian texts. It's I'm a nerd. It's okay.
I don't
Yeah.
find that nerdy. I
We're
find
reaping the
that
benefits of that.
incredible. Like, I'm just in awe right now
I
that
am
someone
too.
had the just the I can't focus on something like that
Yeah.
long, and you have put in so much work and focus on one specific thing, and that's just incredible. And it's going to be a great payoff when people read that.
Yeah, I find it's hard to actually get into the writing phase when I'm in my research phase because I just can't stop researching. And then it becomes it's like, well, I could write, but I could also read another article. And then it's like, well, what if I miss an entire thing that could be influenced by this one article that I find about like a night ritual, which has happened, by the way. There's an entire like an article I read 2 weeks ago that like I was like, oh, that's a new scene that has to be added because that's so much context for something that would happen. Because one of the big conflicts of the book is a corrupt priesthood. So he's like one of the really cool things is that like the way religion is used in the book is more manipulation than anything actually divine, even though the divine clearly exists in my world. And
Oh,
so the main character Haruas, he sees through the manipulation. He sees through it and is trying to navigate this world that doesn't operate the way he thinks it should.
See, there's just even so much more intrigue the more you start explaining concepts and
mm-hmm.
teasing things. I'm just like, I need it.
No.
All right, so I unfortunately we are way over time. I just
Yeah,
looked
no.
at the clock and I was like, holy crap. Um, so I am gonna open the floor to you because this is typically the time where we would let you, make announcements, say anything you want to say. So floor is yours. Once that's done, we'll wrap up.
Let me look and see how much time is left on the Kickstarter. 37 hours.
Oh,
37.
37 hours left.
All right.
Yeah, so the Rise of Haduwas, if those interested decide to do the Kickstarter, the Kickstarter ends on January 4th, 11:59 Mountain Standard Time. Not sure what that is for where you guys live, but in
I'm
any
actually
case,
in Mountain Standard Time.
are you? Cool.
Yes.
So it's early for you too. Except you might not, this might not be early for you. It's very early for me. I'm a nocturnal person.
Oh, my son wakes me up at 5,
Oh,
so.
that'll do it.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Ew.
I will have late pledges open. So if you miss the window or you see this interview later and you're like, yeah, I want to get it, I will have late pledges open, and that'll be open until probably beginning of February. Um, I will be doing around 70 days of events this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm getting my calendar in order. So if you're in the Alberta, Canada area, yeah, come find.
Wow.
Um,
70?
Announcements will be on my socials, and yeah, I think that's all I have.
Awesome. Well,
Big
Yeah,
it
year.
sounds like you have a great year ahead of you, and I would love to have you back on when your book is released finally,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
we can yap and I'll show everyone the pretty special edition that they missed out on if they didn't pledge.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I already pledged. I pledged for that. I pledged for the Tale of Corey. I'm in it to win it. I need
Oh
these
yeah,
editions.
I
They're
saw
so gorgeous.
it.
Well, Amanda, Hannah, thank you both so much for coming on today. And I
Thank
hope you all
you.
have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as
Bye,
well.
guys.
See ya.